Hello, all my beautiful people. I haven't been on here for a while. I don't post that often. I'm just kind of going with the flow. We're going with the flow. I come and post when I feel called to. I do feel called to post a little more often, but lives and things get in the way, or I let them get in the way. That's part of what I'm here to say, is just go with the flow. But the coolest thing happened to me the other day. I was dropping my son off at work, and as I was dropping him off, something said, go to the beach. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, the beach, I don't live too far from it, is my happy place. It's my reset place. It's my just come and leave everything at the ocean place. It's my place. It's my place. Blessed to be close enough to just come and swing by. And the way it is you just, this beach is, you can pull up to the road. There's parking all along in front of the beach. It's kind of a slight downhill where there's rocks and you get to the sand. Anyway, I felt called to go to the beach, so I just went. I parked, or I was looking for parking, and because it gets filled up, it's free parking, so a lot of people want to catch the sunset, and this was around the end of the day. So I was pulling up, scouting for a spot, and I pull forward, and then I seen this beach bum, that people would call him a beach bum. He had long hair, beanie, tattered clothes, beat to smithereens car. The car has seen better days. But the reason I noticed him, well, apart from him being a little beach bum, is because the other day I came to hike here at the beach, because it's also a state park. You can also go hike. The other day I came with my older daughter to hike, and we were walking along the beach before we got to the main trail, and we saw him, the same beach bum. I don't want to call him a bum anymore. He's the beach goer. The not so stylish beach goer. He was walking along sand. He stopped. I saw him with his arms spread wide open, like he was just taking the ocean in, the way we all do, and not a care in the world, just taking it in, breathing, closed his eyes, and I admire that. As I walked by him, I was like, oh, that's, he's enjoying the ocean like everyone else. Well, not like everyone else, probably better, because he didn't care what anyone was thinking. He had his arms open, deep breaths, eyes closed, and just loving it. And that's how I like to enjoy the ocean too. It's getting dark. I'm going to try to make this message kind of quick. I was called to come here real quick, and the sun is setting and it's cloudy, so there's not as much light as usual when the sun is setting. So I saw him on the way to the hike. So when I came after dropping my son off and was looking for parking, and I saw him, I passed him, looking for more parking, and then there was a car behind me. Bear with me. There was a car behind me, scouting in that little area, and then in my rearview mirror, I saw that there was a car that pulled out behind him. Let me retract. Sorry. This is a little all over the place. When I was pulling up past the beach bum in his car, looking for parking, something in me felt like I needed to talk to him. Like, oh, you should go talk to him, or you should approach him, or say hi. I don't know why. I don't usually do that. I just felt it really strongly. And as I passed him, got that deep feeling. Then the car behind me was pulling out, which was closer to him. And I was like, okay, well, I lost that parking, because usually when someone sees a car behind them pull out, then they'll quickly back up, reverse and go into that spot. This car did not do that. It stayed right there, or it didn't see that car behind him leave. So it stayed there, it waited, and, I saw that, and I was like, okay, if I have to am really supposed to talk to this guy, then I'll get that spot behind him, or I'll be able to reverse and park behind him, which was closer to this guy. And lo and behold, a car pulled out in front of the car behind me. They parked there, and I said, okay, reversed all the way back. It was quite a little bit of a ways. I reversed all the way back into that spot that the car had first originally left. The car directly behind me didn't see. And as I pulled into the spot, it's only like 2 cars away from the beachgoer, the not so stylish beachgoer. And so I got out of my car, and I was just standing there, just looking out at the ocean, breathing, loving it. It's what I do. I love it. It's like a big hug from Mother Earth. And all the energies and just everything good and beautiful. But I glanced over to my left, and I could see him, and he was just standing there too. He was in front of his car, taking it in. He had his eyes closed. He was just kind of swaying back and forward. And I've worked in healthcare for about 18, 19 years almost, and I've worked in ERs. So I've seen homeless people. I've seen sometimes they have mental health issues. So I did kind of scope them out a little bit, because I did really feel this. I still felt this strong call to go talk to them, but then I felt a little skittish, a little fear, because I've seen homeless people with mental health, and sometimes they lash out, and they're kind of unpredictable sometimes. Sometimes they're not happy, understandably so. Sometimes they're uncomfortable, their situation, living outside, they're cold, they're hungry, they're hot, they don't feel good, etc. But I scoped him out for a minute. And I was like, okay, he's not talking to himself, he's not hitting himself, he's just chilling. He's enjoying the beach still. So I took a couple deep breaths, and I walked, or he did catch me glance at him once. He glanced over at me, and he caught me looking at him. And then he walked he stopped standing where he was, and he walked like back towards his car. And there was a RV kind of van next to him. Hold on, my phone is spazzing out, guys. Sorry. So I couldn't catch a full. Let me turn this light on. Because it's getting dark now. I couldn't catch a full view of his car, but I could see the front of the car. So he stepped kind of behind to his car. So I walked behind the RV camper thing and walked over to his car, and then I just walked up to him, and I was like, hey. Hey, is this your car? And I was like, do you live here? And I didn't mean anything by it, but I didn't know what to say. I just knew I had to go talk to this guy. I was like, do you live here? And he kind of took the defensive route, like a defensive answer, because, it's a state park, it's a beach. You're not supposed to park here and stay and live. He's like, no, just visiting. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, do you come here often? Then I started getting, I just started talking to him and flowing, and he said that he comes here from like April to October. He lives out in the desert. It turns out he's not homeless. He just his name is Jesse. Really interesting guy, and he had like this long hair, like a surfer guy, and it turns out he was a avid surfer back in his day. He was like mid to late 60s. But it turns out he comes here only from April to October-ish because he lives out closer to the desert. We're here in California. I'm in San Diego. So he lives out in the desert area of California, and it gets really hot. So he comes out here to get away from the heat. And then once I started asking him a few questions, he started telling me about his travels, and because I asked him, where else do you go? And then he told me he's been to India, he's been to Tibet, he's been to Mexico. I asked him, because I'm like, oh, I haven't traveled that much. I'm like, I'd love to go to India, I'd love to go to Tibet. I asked him how it was and his experience. He didn't have much to say about that. He said it was, that it was great, and he went on a whim, and that he surfed all along the coast of California. Anyway, I could go on and on. I got such a good vibe from that guy. I don't know why I had to talk to him. I really don't. I believe it's to show me that, because judging by not his full story, but what he told me, in a nutshell of his travels, that we just need to go with the flow, because this guy is not homeless. He has a home. He said that to me too. He's like, I'm not homeless. He's like, I have a home. I just come out here during the winter, or from April to October, to get away from the heat. And the car he's driving is way beyond old, and like just tethered and been repaired, and almost looked like there was like plaster on the hood, and just he had 2 different shoes on, and the coat he had on looked like you could see the top layer and then the middle layer with the wool or whatever it was, but you could see through it. But he told me that he, before he comes out here, he pulls out cash, and then he comes and parks at a beach, picks one, and he'll go hang out at a Denny's and then come back until it's the time where you can come back and sit in front of the beach. But I got out of that is just you free flow, just we're flowing through life. I didn't know what I was going to come and post about. Sorry, my phone again, guys. It's flashing me like paparazzi. Turn on another light. I need a new phone. Coming soon. But just like these messages, I don't know what I'm going to post all the time, and I know I've only got a few, but I never know what I'm going to come on here and talk about. Sometimes I'm like, does anybody want to hear my jibber jabber? Is anybody listening to me? If you're listening, if you hear me, if you resonate with any of this, if any of this matters to you in any little bit, let me know in the comments, please, so I know someone's out there listening. Anyway, so so I talked with Jesse. This was like till about 8:30 p.m. So it was dark, cold. I told him nice to meet you. We had to go, and sorry. Okay, just had to fix something. So I told him, nice to meet you. Had to go, and the next day I went to Ralph's in a shopping center near me, and pulling into the parking lot, guess who I saw? I saw Jesse. I was with my daughter, and I had told her when I got home that I made a friend. The other cool thing is he said he studied at Santa Cruz for 2 years, and I was like, "What'd you study?" He said he studied astronomy, which is cool. We talked a little bit about, stars, moon, galaxies, and he kind of went off on telling me stuff about that. But I told my daughter, and we're pulling up in the parking lot at Ralph's, and I was like, "Look, there's Jesse!" like a fangirl. I don't know why, but it was exciting because I was like, "No way! There's no way he's here. There's no way." The very next day, what are the odds? He was grabbing a cart from where people park the carts to go into Ralph's, and I was going into so I pulled up to him. I rolled down my window. I'm like, "Hey, Jesse! Hey!" I'm like, "How are you?" He's like, "Hey, you recovered from last night." That's what he said. I'm like, I don't know why he said recovered, but it was cold. Maybe that's why. He's like, "All right, it's so nice to see you again." And, he went inside. And then I went inside. And then I'm going in the produce, and he's in the produce. And I'm like, "God, this is weird. We're going the same aisles." I needed to get cleaning stuff. That was my main reason for going there. And after I went to the produce, I went to the cleaning. He's going down, and he's coming back down that aisle. I'm like, "Oh gosh, this is almost a little weird. It looks like I'm following him." But anyway, that encounter with him the next day was my confirmation that I did the right thing. That I followed my intuition. I followed that feeling I got to go talk to him. Because what I got out of that is, he seems to live life by his own flow, by his own spirit. He's like a free spirit, especially the way he sits here at the beach. Like, he has money. And I saw him. He pulled out his wallet, pulled out his cash and paid, and he's just going with the flow is what I got from him. And I got that we should all go with the flow. I'm living that way now more than ever, and it feels good to live that way. I don't want to live in the past because I can't change the past. None of us can change the past, so why live there? Our heads go to the past so much more than they should be. There's nothing we can do about it. Absolutely nothing. So I refuse to live in the past. Not that it doesn't creep up on me sometimes. It does. But I refuse to live there. And I don't want to have my head in the future. Not to make goals and plans. There's things I want to do, things I'm working on, but I don't want to worry about what's going to happen in the future. Is this going to turn out right? Is this going to, bite me in the butt later, or backfire? Is what I want to happen gonna happen? And ultimately, I don't know, so I don't want to worry about it. The only thing I can't control the past. We can't control the past. We can't control the future or predict the future, so don't worry about it. The only thing we can control is this right now, right here, this moment. I can only control this, what I'm doing at this very second, which is talking to you. And following, feelings and intuitions. So I know now that was the message that I was supposed to get. And then I felt called to come here and, to come back to the beach, come back and record. And I wanted to tell that story. I wasn't sure exactly all of what I was going to say, but it all comes together as you go with the flow. And it feels good to live that way, I feel like. Not to say you shouldn't plan things, not to say don't be organized, and I'm not a super organized person myself, but I'm doing this. I started this channel. I post when I feel called to or when I can. I should follow more, but in my head, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna say to people. I don't know what I'm gonna tell them, what advice I can give, but as I'm going with the flow, as I'm feeling more into my intuition, I'm you know, because in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for this magic voice to come into my head and tell me, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to say. This is your life purpose. That's not the way it works. That's, to my understanding, not for everybody. Some people have those gifts where they audibly hear things or see things. Most people don't. Most people, it's just a matter of getting in touch with their own intuition and feelings and knowing. For me, I've noticed it's a deep, 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 I mean deep, knowing and feeling. Like, it doesn't go away. Like, as I passed him, it just hit me. Like, it just hit me, like, with everything. No other thought came into my head. It was like, you need to talk to him. You need to go talk to that guy. Same thing when I did my first post here on YouTube. I got that hit of, like, you need to post a video, but I ignored it for so long before I actually did it. Now I'm just acting on what I feel. I follow it, and when I follow it, it's turning out better. Things are turning out better. I don't have to think as much. I don't have to try as hard. I'm just going with the flow. And meeting him was absolutely confirmation to that. It was more confirmation than I needed to know that that's how we're supposed to live. That is how I'm supposed to live. This is how I'm supposed to post these videos. Just going with the flow as I feel them, as I'm called to. Because that is how that man lives. That is absolutely how he lives. And I'm sure I'm running into him again. If I do, we'll let you guys know. Because he says he frequents here and I frequent here. So, but I've never seen him before. He said he's done this for years. And I've been coming here for years. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, 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 crazy. The divine timing of it all. So, today's message from me to you is just live in the moment. Go with the flow. Don't live in the past. Don't worry about the future, because you cannot control either one of those. All we can do and control is this moment right here, right now. This beautiful moment talking to you guys. And every moment. So it feels good to not worry. It feels good to not try so hard. It feels good just to listen, follow, even if you're not sure, because I'm not sure half the time. But when I get that huge feeling of knowing and that intuition and I follow it, it works out so much in my favor. So much in my favor. I can't tell you. So go in, meditate. I've been working on my meditations. Sitting in the silence. I kept hearing that too, is you need to sit in the silence more. Sit in silence. Even if the thoughts run through your head, let them run. Let them keep running. Just let them go fly away. Just sit in silence until you hear nothing or very little, or something that you know is not your thoughts. There's thoughts that jump in and you're like, where did that come from? That wasn't me. That's the divine. That's divine intervention sending you thoughts. And sending you the feelings too when you're out and about. The more you do it, the more I've done it, the stronger it's gotten. The more I've let go, the stronger it's gotten. And it's really cool. It's really cool because I had some confirmation the other day with that happening. And it's not just with the one thing. It's not just with this, about this YouTube post. It's with everything. Because this is just me following, like, I feel like I have to post on here and talk to people on YouTube about my experience. I don't know what's to come of this. Again, I'm just following. I've got other projects I'm working on, but I'm doing those projects in that same style, in that same manner. Just following the knowing, the deep knowing, the intuition, and working accordingly. If it doesn't flow, if I feel a lot of resistance, it's not for me. So if you feel a lot of resistance to something, follow that intuition. We all have it. We all have it. We just don't remember how to listen to it anymore. There's all the things in the world, all the education we've gotten growing up, the way we were raised, just veils put over us. And it's time to lift the veils. Time to lift the veil, guys. And start listening again to yourself. Because I'm sure you've had those moments where you get this feeling. You get this, like, feeling in your gut. Like the song, that Justin Timberlake song that I think he made for Trolls comes to our, like, I got that feeling inside my bones. I don't know the rest of the words, but I'll figure it out. That's what it feels like. And we just all need to tune in a little more. Even if it's not strong, like hits you in the gut. You get these inklings. Everybody gets these little inklings, like, oh, I don't know, I got a weird vibe, or this doesn't feel too great. Or even if it's something you're like, I don't want to do that. That doesn't feel right. That feels stressful. Then don't do it. Don't do it. Go the other way. Go the other way. Do the other thing. Because we're not here to live life in stress. We're here to live life in flow, in love, in joy, in peace. And life is life. We're human. But we also are divine creations. Our souls were put here into these human bodies to live life and learn from it. So life is still gonna life. But we need to start to learn to listen a little more. A little more. The more you start listening, the louder it gets. And don't forget to look within. Don't forget to sit in silence, because that also helps. The more you learn to sit in silence, the more you can tune out the noise. You learn to tune out the noise of the world. And you can tune out the noise while you're living day-to-day life and follow those little feelings. Those gut feelings. I got that feeling inside my bones. That. So follow it. And see you on the next video. I don't know when, because I'm going with the flow. See you at the next flow. Bye guys. Love you.